Senior General Min Aung Hlaing, the ruthless leader of Myanmar's military junta, decided to grace the world with his presence. That's right, he went on a little trip, but this wasn't just any vacation. Oh no, this was a rare international outing for a man who orchestrated a military coup in 2021. You see, Min Aung Hlaing overthrew the democratically elected government of Aung San Suu Kyi. Since then, he's been persona non grata in most of the civilized world. Think of him like the guest who shows up to a party uninvited, spills red wine on the carpet, and then refuses to leave. So where did this delightful chap decide to go? Thailand of all places, the land of smiles. It seems ironic, doesn't it? But before we delve into that, let's not forget the backdrop against which this trip took place. Because while Min Aung Hlaing was busy packing his bags, his country was grappling with a tragedy of immense proportions. In late March 2025, a devastating earthquake struck Myanmar. The 7.7 magnitude quake ripped through the country, leaving a trail of destruction in its wake. Buildings crumbled, bridges collapsed, and roads buckled like wet cardboard. The human cost was catastrophic. Over 3,000 people perished, with thousands more injured and missing. Imagine the utter devastation, the sheer scale of suffering. Now you might think that faced with such a calamity, a leader would prioritize his people's well-being above all else. You'd think that, wouldn't you? But then, you'd be forgetting who we're talking about. Min Aung Hlaing, instead of focusing on relief efforts, seemed more concerned with his international image. While his people were literally digging themselves out of the rubble, he was busy prepping for his big trip abroad. The reason for Min Aung Hlaing's jaunt to Thailand was the BIMSTEC summit. BIMSTEC stands for the Bay of Bengal Initiative for Multi-Sectoral Technical and Economic Cooperation. It's a mouthful, I know. Basically, it's a regional organization focused on economic cooperation. Now, one might assume that a summit with cooperation in its name would be a tad hesitant to host a dictator. But hey, who are we to judge? So there he was, Min Aung Hlaing, rubbing shoulders with other world leaders as if he were a respected statesman. The audacity, right? The summit itself focused on various issues from disaster management, how ironic, to connectivity and infrastructure development. But let's be honest, the real story wasn't the agenda, it was the elephant in the room, or rather, the dictator in the room. Min Aung Hlaing's presence at the summit sparked outrage and condemnation. Human rights groups, activists, and even some world leaders were appalled that he was given a platform. Protests erupted in Bangkok with people demanding his removal. Imagine the gall of this man, showing his face on the international stage while his people suffered. The trip to Thailand was a rare instance of international engagement for Min Aung Hlaing since the coup. He's been hit with sanctions, isolated by the West, and even barred from ASEAN meetings. But it seems some countries are still willing to roll out the red carpet for him. The question is, why? Is it a sign of normalizing relations with the junta, or simply a case of realpolitik? Only time will tell what the long-term implications of this controversial visit will be. One thing's for sure though, the world is watching, and Min Aung Hlaing's actions haven't gone unnoticed.